Hey, have you ever been ghosted by a buyer? I just got ghosted yesterday. I was going to sell the blonde 62 Bassman head and cabinet to a guy who is. We talked quite a bit online about it and actually had the amp. I took it to my amp tech so he could go over it and make sure it was in perfect operating condition. Gave it a super professional checkup. We ended up changing one tube. So anyhow, we're gonna meet on Friday. He was coming from a long ways away, so he never showed up, or he never messaged me or returned any messages. So I guess that's kind of how it goes. But you kind of maybe assume something happened, or maybe there was a health problem or emergency. You don't know, but when you set aside a whole day and you're watching or checking your phone constantly for messages and you don't hear anything, it is kind of disappointing, but it's kind of against the code of the road, or amongst us guitar players, we have some sort of honor, I believe, to where we have to treat each other really well. I really tried to do my best to make sure the amp, there would be no disappointments in the amp. I did make a video showing him the head anyway. So at least I know I did my best to make sure I described it accurately and made sure that he would be happy. I kind of do the same thing if I'm selling a car. I'll give all records, and I might even do some maintenance ahead of time just to make sure that person doesn't get, you know, I would, if there's something I have a suspicion might need to be checked, I will tell them about that. But, you know, it's just better to be honest, right? And not, if you could benefit from knowing something and not disclosing it, I could not sleep very well knowing I did that. So I will sleep okay about this, but the right buyer will come around. But you know, selling stuff is pretty slow right now. So if you're into buying stuff, it's great. Just make sure you show up if you say you're going to be somewhere, and that is appreciated. I get the same thing with some of my guitar students, and there's usually a reason they couldn't make it. Maybe traffic or an emergency, or maybe they told me ahead of time, but I didn't make a note of it. So I'm pretty used to that, and it's not that big of a deal, I guess. So, but if you're gonna buy something, just make sure you show up and communicate with the seller. Same thing if you're a seller, I suppose. Just be honest, and then you won't have to worry about uh, having guilt or any regrets or bad feelings. So I'm okay with that. I think I'll just enjoy the amp while it's still for sale. All right, maybe we'll do another demo. We can hear it after it's been serviced, plugged into the cabinet. I don't know. Bassmans, they do rule. And it's for sale. It's a 61 or 62.